Hi, I wanted to give you a couple of short little snippets of information. Did you know that even though an employer is not connected to you on a social network such as Facebook, they can still see your Facebook updates? This is one of the new features of Office 2010. So lock down your personal settings on Facebook, because every time I receive a resume from someone or an email, many times I get their Facebook statuses. Did you also know that you can be fired for what you say and do online? This week we heard about the Aflac duck guy sending out tweets making jokes about Japan, and Aflac fired him because he did not represent the values of the company. So be very careful what you put out there. Did you also know that there are many questions that an employer cannot ask you? They're illegal, and they can seem very benign, such as, where's your family from? Be aware of what an employer can and cannot ask you, what you feel uncomfortable with, and potentially how to answer such questions. Did you also know that the assessment of a candidate starts from the time you shake their hand? We have a client that writes down eye contact, hygiene, clothing, smiles, all those things. They start to assess you from the moment you walk in. Did you also know that some clients, some employers, try to put a candidate in a stressful situation to see how you will react, and you don't even know it? So keep your cool when going into an interview situation. Don't think that you bombed because it was a little bit stressful. Did you also know that there's still many employers that take those thank you notes to heart? They still wait for them, and I'm still surprised. I say it all the time. Many candidates, I would say maybe 7 out of 10 candidates, do not send a thank you note after the interview. Show that you're interested in the position. Did you also know, especially for the people in sales, that the employer wants to be sold? He wants you, or she wants you, to ask for the next step or the order, which is, how did I do in this interview? How did I perform? What is the next step? So be aware of that if you're in sales. Did you also know that an employer expects you to ask intelligent questions? If you have no questions, that's not a good sign. I know there are many things to consider when interviewing, but that's why you should not wing it. Prepare. Make sure you do your research and practice. I'm Dawn Williams from Sirius Personnel. I can be reached at SiriusPersonnel.com, LinkedIn, or on Twitter. Happy selling.